I got it. Oh, nope. I'm not the meeting host, so I can't record. You
Oh,
got it?
it's recording.
Okay. So Jenny is going to be talking to us about consistency because honestly, that is the secret sauce in this business. You know, a lot of times we're looking for what is it? How do people have success in this business? And it comes down to being consistent with the vital behaviors as a coach. So we're going to go ahead and pass it over to Jenny. Again, if you haven't already, go ahead and mute yourself so we don't even have any outside noise. And
Okay. So, hi guys, I'm Jenny, and I'm going to do this call a little bit different. So, if you're new to the calls, normally we have PowerPoints that go along with it. But what I really just wanted to do is for you to listen and take away whatever really speaks to you. So, the topic is consistency. When Jessica asked me to do this, I said, sure, but I had no idea what I was going to talk about. So I was talking to my sister about it when we were coming back from a wedding, and she goes, you know what? You need to talk about like your Facebook because you're always on Facebook, and that's like kind of my deal. I don't know how to do Twitter and Instagram and Snapchat, but I get Facebook. And so when we went to the wedding, there were so many family members that were like, oh my gosh, I feel like I know you, and I feel like you've been a part of the family forever, because it's really my sister-in-law, so it's my husband's sister, and it's their family. And so I hadn't met like half of these people, but they were like, you know, we see your Beachbody journey on Facebook. We see I own a swim lesson business. We see all about your swim lessons, and we love seeing the girls. And we just love that you always post on Facebook. And I was like, ding, that's what I'll talk about is consistency. So kind of my first bullet point is finding the tools that work for you to help you be consistent. So again, if you like Instagram or Snapchat or Twitter, like be consistent on there every single day and give them a variety of you. So don't just talk about Beachbody, but show them that you're a real person too, and start building that trust with them. But it's also, you know, obviously you need to talk about Beachbody. So I am not perfect, but I try to. If you scroll through my Facebook, you get a healthy combination of, you know, she likes arts and crafts, and she drinks Shakeology, and she's a mom and a wife. So going along with the tools, Jessica and Raquel and Genevieve and Laura have done a phenomenal job of giving us so many tools in the file section. So definitely take advantage of that. So when I started the Power Hour, like that was a non-negotiable for me, like a daily checklist. And I am very old school, and I print it off and I go through every single day. So I would encourage you, if you do not have one, hop onto the file section and print off, I don't know how many are in there. I think there's like 2 or 3, and give it a week or 2 weeks and just stay consistent with doing that, and see if you're having more people reach out to you, or you're having more likes or more friends, and just see how it's helping your business. If that checklist isn't working for you, certainly switch it up, but don't get stuck in your bubble where you are being consistent, but it's not helping you progress. Make sure that you certainly are stepping outside your own box and trying new things. So number 2 is a healthy comparison. Whenever I started Beachbody, that's when Raquel went to her diamond retreat. And I remember thinking, oh, well, I'm never going to be one of those girls like going to photo shoots. And I looked up to Raquel and Jessica, like they were, but I never thought, like, it was never one of my goals to surpass them. And it's still not one of my goals. Like, I just admire them, and I look at their posts, and like Jen, I stalk her a little bit because I love her posts, and she says things that I'm like, well, why didn't I think of that? Like, I'm in the same boat. I'm going on the diamond retreat, but just the way she words things. So definitely have that healthy comparison of looking at other people and consistently trying to better yourself. So I reached out to a few of the other diamond coaches just to see kind of what their timeline was on their Beachbody journey, so that way you kind of had it in your mind, being consistent with this business really can make a difference. Because when I started, Jessica asked me, when are you going to be a diamond? I started in January, my coaching business, and I said, October 31st. And she kind of laughed and she goes, how about April? So I signed up for 3 Push to Diamond groups, and I was consistent with doing those, and I made it happen. So the questions that I asked them were, how long have you been in the business? How long did it take you to hit diamond once you started working the business? Because that's 2 different things. What is something you do consistently every single day to maybe help other people? And then tips to help you focus. And so Amanda, she's one of my Success Club partners. And when she started 7 months ago, she was pregnant with her 3rd child. So if you're a mama, there's really no excuses out there, because if she can do it, anyone can do it. So she hit diamond within 5 months. She private messages people daily, and her tip was to find a partner. So it's actually, we're a trio. So if you don't have a Success Club partner, definitely reach out to your upline, and they help you stay consistent. It's almost like you feel guilty if you don't do things, because you know that they may ask you, hey, how's your day going? Oh, well, I didn't do it today, but I will do it by the end of the day. So they just help you stay on track. So then there's Natalie. She's been in the business for 7 months. And when she started, she was still kind of in that newlywed phase. She just got started back with her college. And her consistency tip was that she does direct messaging every single day, and that personal development is a non-negotiable for her. Like every single morning, she is very consistent with making that happen. And then lastly, Lisa, she's my other partner. She's been in the business for 11 months, but up until about 2 months ago, she didn't really start working it. In January, she made up her mind she was going to hit diamond, and within 6 months, she did. She is also a mom. She's a stay-at-home mom, so running around with a toddler, she definitely has to put those excuses aside when she, has her goal that she wants to help build this business. So her tips are personal development, getting the right mindset, and private messaging people. So going on to my 3rd bullet point is, how bad do you want it? So for all of those ladies, they could certainly have made so many excuses. And I know for me, I've already talked about it, I have a swim lesson business, and I will literally leave my house at 6:30 in the morning and sometimes not get home till 8:30 at night. And yes, I'm tired and I don't want to work out, or I don't want to talk to people because I've had to be nice to screaming kids. Not all screaming kids, but I've just been on all day, and sometimes I don't feel like doing it, but I know what my goals are. And if you want it bad enough, you push those excuses aside and you move forward. So the other day, my husband and I were having dinner together, and I don't know what we were talking about, but he was talking about when you date someone and how if you really want to spend time with that person, you will make it happen. And he's a police officer, and when we started dating, he would get off work at 7 o'clock in the morning. And he could have very easily said, I am tired, I'm going to go home, go to bed. But every single day he worked, he would drive over to my house, have breakfast with me, or I would eat breakfast and he would visit with me, and then he would go about my day. So whether you're in a romantic relationship or one of your challengers or you working your business, if you want it bad enough, whether you want to be the best Emerald coach you want to be, or you want to be the #1 Beachbody coach, or the first 15-star diamond on Team VIP, if you want it bad enough, you will make it happen. And it's by being consistent every single day and making your why better than your bigger than your excuses. So my fourth little bullet point for you is your vision, your focus, and your why very clear? Is it at the forefront of your mind? Because if it's not, then I would say, while you're listening to me, sit down and start writing down things. If you don't have a vision board and it's not constantly reminding you, I'm going to be the next 2-star diamond, or I'm going to be a 5-star diamond, or whatever it is, like if it's not constantly in your mind, then I can guarantee you it's just going to make it that much harder to achieve, or you're not going to achieve it at all. And I don't want to be mean or rude or upset anyone, but it is what it is. If you don't know where you're going and you're not constantly reminding yourself of it, you're probably not going to achieve it. So whenever I started on my journey, I know I've shared this with some people, but for some of you newbies, if your goal right now is to be an emerald, awesome, that's great. And so what I did is I printed off my daily power hour. I got a green pen and I wrote like emerald at the top and colored everything in green, just so that way I was so focused on being an emerald. And then when I hit ruby, I wrote ruby slippers on every single checklist, and I had a red pen, and diamond. And right now I'm trying to focus on 2-star diamond and being a strong upline coach and just, being the best team VIP member I can be. So whatever your goal is, it doesn't matter if your goal isn't to be a diamond. That is totally fine. If you are happy being a ruby, then you rock those ruby slippers. But you have to know where you're going and being consistent with that process. So one last thing I wanted to leave you with is a couple years ago, I went to a dental convention. I work for a dentist, and they had us sit down and really think about our goals and where we wanted to go and write them out. And then you had to say whatever your goal was, it had to be in like the present time. So at that time, I was training for a marathon. I wasn't dating anyone. I had a rent house, but I wanted to be married. I wanted to have kids. I wanted to say I ran a marathon. And when I declared it, it brought tears to my eyes. When I said, I am a marathon runner, I am a loving wife, I am a caring mom, I am a homeowner, it just like resonated with me. And it just like putting it out into the world. I know Jessica and Raquel are always talking about like manifesting and put it out to the world and whatever it may be. And a year later, I looked back and I had ran a marathon. I was engaged. I wasn't married, but I was engaged. I was a homeowner, and he had 2 little girls, so I was a mom. And so I just thought it was so cool thinking that when I got my mind right and I constantly reminded myself of those things, I was able to achieve it. So I really wish I was going to Summit so I could tell Jeff Hill that I feel being consistent should be the 5th vital behavior. But for your newbies, think about this. If you are not consistent in inviting, which is one of the vital behaviors, then you're not going to get challengers. You're not going to get new coaches. If you are not consistent in your personal development, your mind's not going to be in the right place. And when you're in a funk, you probably won't get out of it because you're not constantly reminding yourself of those positive things. If you aren't consistent of being the product of the product, you're not setting an example for all those people that are watching your social media. You're not setting an example for your downline coaches. If you don't have downline coaches, you're not setting an example for your challengers. So anyways, be consistent, have your mind right. And whatever your goal is, that's fine. Like, don't feel like you have to be the next Raquel or the next Jessica or the next Genevieve or whoever, but have them be a healthy comparison. Like, I could be that person. I mean, why not? Like, why could you not be the next person? Like, you're the only person holding you back. So anyways, I don't know where our time is, but thank you for listening. I hope you at least got a little bit out of this little chit chat. And if you have any questions, I would be happy to answer them. Good? Yeah? You're done?
You did so good on time, my friend.
I don't even know what time it is. Oh, yes. Josh.
Yes, Josh, go.
Okay, so for people who use Instagram and Twitter and all the other social media accounts, do you find it more successful in getting more invitations or like getting more challengers that way, or just via Facebook alone?
So if you're asking me, I am not a good person to ask because I don't do that. But I'm hoping Jen, maybe you wouldn't mind chiming in because Jen is like the social guru. So Jen, do you mind sharing like which one you have found is best?
Sorry. So best for like, repeat again, just so I want to make sure I answer it correctly. Because I have a lot of different things.
No, you're good. So like if you were using Facebook alone versus the other social media along with Facebook, do you find it, like comparing two different people, I guess, do you find it better or more successful to get challengers using more social media? I mean, it may be obvious.
I think the best thing first starting out, so if you're starting with not a big social media presence, I think the best thing to do is concentrate on one. So wherever you have the most friends, and probably Facebook, I would concentrate on that. It also is going to just depend on your demographic. For me, Instagram is huge. So if I didn't have an Instagram, I feel like it would hurt me since just a lot of people my age and my age group like love Instagram. But I know there's a lot of coaches that don't even try Instagram and don't get as much. I've been a coach now for a year, and only now am I starting to actually get people off Instagram. But initially I didn't get it. So I would say just focus just on Facebook, and then if you're feeling like, oh, okay, I have a couple friends on Instagram and I could get going into that, then do it. If you already have an Instagram and you want to start posting on it, I post exactly the same stuff on both, so it doesn't hurt it. I mean, who knows? Maybe you get some people, but I wouldn't necessarily be like, oh, I need to understand Instagram and get all Insta savvy. I'll just post identically what you do on Facebook and Instagram and just see where that goes.
Perfect. Thank you.
Yeah.
I would say, Joshua, I didn't have an Instagram when I became a coach. But once I became a coach, I went ahead and like set up an Instagram account, and the filters that Instagram provides for like their photo options and stuff, you can enhance the photos a lot better in Instagram than you can on Facebook. So I post on Instagram first, and then I literally just copy paste and put it on my Facebook, and my photo automatically saves into my camera roll from Instagram. And then I use that same photo. So the photo quality is a little better, but I'm literally posting the same two stuff. And that's what I've gotten a couple people off of Instagram, but definitely Facebook is a lot more. But yeah.
I see. Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Anything else?
Other questions?
I have a question.
Oh, I was just going to add just a little nugget. The way that I look at it personally, and you could be completely different, is I look at Instagram, Snapchat, and Twitter as all supplemental to Facebook. So I look at Facebook as just like the primary hub when it comes to connecting with challengers and running groups and stuff. And then a way to like let more people into your life is to get Instagram and run through Snapchat. But that's just the way I look at it. And I feel like that I can connect to more people that way, but I'm not necessarily getting more challengers that way, if that makes sense. Like I'm more of a real person through Snapchat when I'm being kind of, I can be more weird on Snapchat. I can be more artsy on Instagram. So it's like, I can be like personality.
It's to lead you to where you want them to go.
Yeah, basically. It's like a funnel system. Like you want, but whatever you're more comfortable with.
No, that's perfect. So I have them both. So that works.
Great.
Thank you.
I have a question or kind of a thing for Jenny, just for since we have a couple new coaches. I would just mention, I don't know if you said or not, but mention a little bit about a checklist. Did you mention your own personal daily checklist that you use to help you stay consistent?
Yeah, well, I just put that, that there's tools that like you and Laura and Jessica have created. So definitely hop on there and print off, like, I think there's 3 in there. So I was just suggesting that they print those off and then give it like 1 to 2 weeks, staying consistent with doing that. And then they'll like kind of figure out what their niche is and what works best for them. So it really is just finding what works for you and then going from there. So.
And just like something that's helped me, like when we first started, we didn't really know too much about, like, we were just kind of all over the place. Take the 5 minutes it takes to print off the checklist we have. And I even made it, you can't really see that, my background. So you can kind of see. So it's numbered. So I'm literally on my phone. And if I'm just sitting there, I'm like, oh my God, I didn't do number 5. I got to go do it. And I'm telling you, it helps so much if you put it somewhere where you see it constantly, like your phone. So take 5-10 minutes tonight, even after this call. And even if you write it on a piece of paper because you don't have a printer, do it. I think, I think if we tried to post something in Team VIP of the checklist for you guys to easily access, I think that would be super helpful for you. Because I know that's the biggest thing with being consistent. You can say all you want, but I know for me, it's like a visual thing. I need to check it off. So,
cool. Thank you.
And the only other thing I would mention is that if you haven't read either The Slight Edge or The Compound Effect, that is like the best book. The first book that I ever read was The Slight Edge, and it talks about, consistency in your daily actions. And Jen talked about, the checklist, which is like something that is so easy to do. But because it's so easy to do, it's also really easy not to do. And that's kind of the catch-22, that like, if I don't do this today, like if I didn't work out today, tomorrow I'm not, going to gain 20 pounds, right? But if I consistently, day after day after day, didn't exercise, I would probably, not be at my ideal weight. So it's one of those things. And if I were just to continue to exercise day after day, like if I were to work out today, tomorrow I'm not going to get 6-pack abs. But if I stuck with it consistently, I would hit my goals. So I relate it to fitness, but it's the same thing for this business. If you're not consistent day in and day out with that checklist, you're not going to see you create that momentum in your business. So The Slight Edge or The Compound Effect, if you don't have anything for personal development, that is where I say you start, because it was just a mindset shift for me on consistency. So hopefully y'all have read that. If not, start reading it. Okay, that's it.
Or listen to it on Audible. If you're not a reader like myself. Such a good call, Jenny. You did awesome.
Oh, thanks.
She's such a rock star, and that's why I really wanted her to talk about consistency, because I will tell you, from the minute the girl started coaching in January, she has been consistent. And it has not, it's not always come easy, but she's definitely had a vision. And like that was one of the biggest takeaways that I took from her. And this is a quote. I think it's John Maxwell. I can't remember. If you do not have a vision of where you want to be in 5 years, you are already there. Like that's just so telling. So if you don't know, like she was saying, you have to be really specific. And it doesn't matter what your goal is, because everyone's is different. But if you don't know what that specific goal is, you don't have a reason to fill out the checklist. You don't have a reason to read your personal development or to get up and work out. So that was so powerful that Jenny said that, because it's so true. If you don't have something that's going to be pushing you to get there and to stay consistent, you won't. So really, really find that vision, put it on your vision board, whatever that might be. It doesn't matter what it is, as long as it's important to you and as long as it helps you to stay motivated. But Jenny is amazing. If you go into a rut or you have questions, reach out to her. It doesn't matter if she's in your downline, upline, sideline. It doesn't matter. Reach out to her and ask her, hey, what did you do when you ran into this obstacle? Or how did you stay consistent through X? Because I'm telling you, she has colored pins and she has these mind games. Like, she will get the job done no matter what. I don't know how she does it. So if you run into it, you go to her, because she will tell you. And she's just the most positive thing that you've ever met in your whole life.
Oh, well,
Really.
Thank you, friend.
You're welcome. And okay, so quick updates before our little call ends. We have Coach Bootcamp that starts tomorrow. So if you're getting in that, I'm so excited to see you be consistent in Coach Bootcamp. And then we also have a preseason group starting. So if you're a new coach and you're putting challengers in, awesome. If you're a current coach putting in challengers, awesome. Preseason group, I posted the link. If for any reason you can't find it, let me know. That starts tomorrow too. Coach Summit is at the end of the week. So for those of you that haven't been to Coach Summit or won't be able to go for whatever reason, make sure to get in the sneak peek group so that you can follow the team members that are going, because they'll be posting about Summit as they go to keep everybody up to date on the fun, exciting things that are happening. Summit is amazing. You'll all be there next year if you're not there this year, but join that Facebook sneak peek group so that you can see what's going on. Any questions, comments, or concerns before we end?
If you don't have a team cup, hop on board. Find a team.
Yeah.
I don't have,
You don't have a team?
no.
We will hook you up, girlfriend.
I'm coming hot with points. So
I have one more spot. Genevieve.
okay.
Y'all can't be together because you're
Yeah.
both done.
Oh.
Nice try though.
Okay. I was
But
just,
we'll post a post tomorrow to see anybody that doesn't have a team that wants a team, because we have until the 31st to get people plugged in. So anybody that you know that's not on the call that maybe is your success partner, or maybe you just know wants to be on a team, make sure to let them know too. And we'll post so that anybody that needs a team and doesn't have one can get set up tomorrow. Good? Okay. Well, y'all have a wonderful Sunday. Great job, Jenny.
Thanks. Bye.